Is your child unsure and unclear about what they want to do after graduating high school? If so, stay tuned to learn more about a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to creating pathways for a brighter future. Hello and welcome to the Career and College Matters show, where we talk about important topics surrounding today's career and college concerns. Our goal is to empower, inform, and inspire you, our viewing audience, with information that will help you to discover and achieve true academic and career success. I am your host, Dr. Mildred Charles, and today I am honored to have Ms. Shannon Collins in our studio. Shannon Collins graduated from Largo High School, right here in our county, attended Prince George's Community College, again in our county, and received a scholarship to Howard University in 2011. In 2013, Ms. Collins began her PhD program at the University of Miami, and after serving as a missionary in Central and South America with her church, her desire for proclaiming the gospel of Christ became very clear to her. So Ms. Collins left Miami to study theology at Southern Seminary. At Southern, that's where she married her wonderful husband, Gregory, who was also a student there at the same time. Because she's so passionate about encouraging and equipping young youths to choose pathways that are passionate to them, Ms. Collins and her sister began SEC Pathways. And now she lives in Annapolis with her husband and 8-month-old son. So she's here today to talk to us about her program. Thank you so much, Ms. Collins, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because, again, it has to deal with pathways beyond high school. So tell me, before we actually go into this, could you tell me what did you want to be when when you were a child? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, so originally I wanted to be a neuroscientist.
Oh, wow.
That's what I wanted to do originally. And then from there I wanted to be a surgeon.
Okay.
I was actually dissecting pigs in 11th grade and realized, I don't want to be a surgeon.
Oh, my God.
And so I changed it to be a clinical psychologist.
Okay.
And so I was studying at the University of Miami to do just that, be a clinical psychologist.
Okay. So it sounds like you knew what your pathway was. But what happened after high school specifically?
That's right. So during high school, so I had those plans, from a young age, but not really, I didn't take high school and academics very seriously. I was always very bright and talented and gifted programs and all of that, but I didn't take things seriously. And so it wasn't until after, not taking it seriously in high school, after high school, really having to come through with a different plan. And that's when I went to Prince George's Community College and just learned of all the opportunities that they had there.
That's amazing, and it's funny how you said you attended Prince George's Community College. I am a strong advocate for community college education, and as you and I had talked about it helped me a lot. It helped me find my way. What do you think is the problem with parents being more open to allowing their child to go to community college? So
I know when I was in school, there was a stigma around community college that basically if you go there, there isn't much more for you. Wow. But what was told to me really my senior year was that, wait, no, there actually are great opportunities through the community college that I wasn't aware of until, it had to be 2 months before graduation. Wow. And so I think there's a stigma that, that's where students go who kind of didn't take academics seriously, and that's all they can do, but not realizing that a community college is really like a gateway to all the opportunities that you would have even had open to you in high school. And it's funny because when the community colleges were founded, they were not called community colleges. Mm-hmm. They were actually junior colleges. Mm-hmm. Because they actually prepared young people for the last 2 years of their education. And that's how when they once they complete the community college education, they become a junior.
third year. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. But again, with parents, what about the young people? What do you think some of their hang-ups are?
Yeah, so I think part of it could be just their peers, the pressure. I think just in Prince George's County, just the community, the idea is only 4-year colleges, and that's the way that you go. And so again, the community college kind of swept under the rug, and so just them seeing their peers, everyone's going after the 4-year institutions, no one's even seeing all the value that there is at the community college.
Absolutely. And speaking of the value, you mentioned earlier that 2 months before you graduated, you learned about the honors program. What is the honors program?
Yeah, so the honors program is a program at Prince George's Community College that are for just students who are excelling academically. And again, you don't have to come in with a certain GPA, but once you're there for 1 semester, you can then apply for it. And so it gives you it gives courses at the level of the 4-year college, and so they're easy to transfer. And they basically, the Honors Academy is another program through the honors program that you can also become a part of, and that can guarantee you scholarships to multiple 4-year institutions in Maryland and DC.
That's amazing. So you're saying it guarantees you? So
That's
once
right.
you're in that program, do you have to maintain a certain GPA?
Yes, yes. So there's a GPA you have to maintain to remain in the Honors Academy. But as soon as you graduate, you're automatically accepted, and you automatically have scholarships to those institutions.
You see, that's what I'm talking about, those best kept secrets for parents who are just, unsure about what the community college and how it can actually benefit them. So in your case, you went to what school after?
Yeah, so at the time, I think they had the same program. So I went to Howard University on a full scholarship.
On a full scholarship?
Full ride. That's right.
From the honors program
That's
at
right.
Prince George's?
Full ride.
So you really lucked out because, first of all, it's very affordable to go to a community college, and then after you finished it, do they have a selection process or
a selection process after the Honors Academy?
So that because you mentioned that you got in, and it's a guaranteed. But
that's right.
How does the scholarship piece come into it?
Yeah, so there is a selection process to get into the Honors Academy.
Okay.
But pretty much if you have the grade point average and you've been showing yourself to be a student that is serious about their studies and involved in different organizations, it's pretty much, there isn't much reason why you wouldn't be accepted. But after that, as I said, if you're in the Honors Academy and you graduate, you are automatically accepted into a number of schools with scholarships.
That's amazing. And do you know of other schools besides Howard University that the college is partnered with?
Yeah, so I know one other. There are a number of them, but another one on the top of my head was one that I really considered, and that was the University of Maryland.
Okay.
And so they have
College Park.
That's right. So College Park. So they have a program that you're automatically accepted. So when I graduated from Prince George's Community College, I was automatically accepted into Howard, automatically accepted into the University of Maryland College Park, and then all these other universities.
Wow. Did you have to apply for them, or
Nope. Well, you know what? You do have to apply, but you're still automatically, because there's a partnership between the Honors Academy and those schools. There is no denying you. So I have acceptance into this program.
And you know what's funny how you mentioned that? Again, the benefits of a community college, they actually have that transfer agreement, the transfer program. So even if you're not in the honors program, the transfer program allows you to have those same benefits. And that, as I mentioned with told you my story, that's how I was actually able to transfer into a 4-year university. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I mentioned to you that I did not want to be caught dead at a community college because of those stigmas that you mentioned. But it was the best decision that I could have made for myself. Did you find that being a benefit for you as well?
Oh, absolutely. I believe going to Prince George's Community College, opportunities that I thought that I lost because of decisions that I made. Not only did I have all those opportunities still opened up for me, but even more that I didn't know of.
Wow.
Because when you go beyond high school, you begin to think a little bit more differently about your life, about your job, about career, and you have more of an idea of where you want to go. And so absolutely, it was just a blessing to my life.
It sounds like it. I mean, you did amazing. I mean, again, being able to get that full ride to Howard University University. Who knew?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
What about some of your peers? Did your peers take advantage of these types of programs, or did they just go straight to a four-year university?
I think it was a mix. So some went straight to a four-year institution, and others had gone to Prince George's Community College, but they didn't know about the program that I knew about coming in.
Okay.
And so a lot of them maybe started but didn't finish, or they went on to do another job, another certification program. But no one that I knew came with me through that program to go on from there.
Okay, okay. So then you went off to Howard, and what did you major?
Yeah. So when I went to Howard, I majored in psychology.
Okay.
And so I did general studies at Prince George's Community College, and then psychology, because again I was on the track to become a clinical psychologist, and so I did psychology at Howard.
And your experience at Howard, did you find that going to a community college prepared you for that?
Oh, absolutely. Again, coming into Prince George's Community College, I was going to work as hard as I possibly could, and so I learned my work ethic at Prince George's, kind of honed it in at Prince George's Community College. And when I got to Howard, I just kind of kept going, taking off, and again became a pretty prominent student at Howard University within my department, and just there I was actually the first person in psychology to win a university-wide research presentation from our division.
Wow.
And so I kind of became known in my department as being the hard worker, even at Howard University.
But you sound like a very driven person, and when we come back, from our next segment, we'll be talking about that. But what is it that drives you?
Yeah, and so I think, again, coming through high school and not taking those opportunities seriously, when I saw my peers going off and getting those acceptance letters, you realize I didn't take advantage of my time. And I just made a promise to myself, from now on, any opportunity that I have, I will take advantage of. And so that's just kind of where it went from there.
And what's sad about it is that I wish more young people would know about these opportunities, because again, it's a situation where, when you finish high school, as you mentioned, it's like you're in another world. I always think of it as being, like I tell my daughter, the real world begins after you leave high school. Nobody's checking in on you. You're a young adult. You make those decisions. But it's not always easy, knowing what it is that you want to do. I mean, truth be told, a lot of young adults are still trying to figure out what they want to do.
That's right.
So why do you think it's so important for young people to have some idea of what their next step is after high school?
Yeah, so I think it's good to know where you want to go, and also the different opportunities, because if you only know a few, then you're kind of pushed in a corner, then you find out, I don't even want to do this at all.
Yes.
And so I think it's important in high school to know the different opportunities that they have, so that you can begin making choices from high school, so that, I even know people in PhD programs say they don't know what they want to do. And so when they get to that point, they've been thinking about this for years, and thinking about different opportunities and what they really want to do from the end of high school.
Absolutely. That is a wonderful testimony of how this actually works and the benefits that are available. So we're going to take a break. So in our next segment, Ms. Collins is going to come back and just tell us about how she started her program to help young people make good decisions about their college and career choices after high school. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school.
Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Welcome back to the Career and College Matters show, where we talk about important topics surrounding today's career and college concerns. Joining me in the studio today is Ms. Shannon Collins, and she's here to talk about her nonprofit organization, SEC Pathways, which is helping young people answer that "what now" question after high school. So, tell us about SEC Pathways.
Yeah, so SEC Pathway is, again, it's a nonprofit, and our goal, our passion is that we provide high school students not only with the information, but also with the connections right before they graduate to help them develop where do they want to go as far as career after high school. Now, does that lead to going right to college? Is that a certification program? Is that a training program? We want to give them all the information so they can make a really good decision, not with limited information, but with as much information as we can actually give them.
That's awesome. So what made you want to start this organization?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I didn't know about all the different opportunities that were available to me until 2 months before graduating high school. And so before being told that, I kind of had a defeated attitude. I kind of felt as though it's too late for me. I wish I would have made different decisions, and now it's just too late. And so when I was told that, wow, there's another opportunity for me to actually work hard and excel, that was just such a blessing to my life. And so I just really want to share that information with students and have them also be able to make a choice. And you mentioned earlier, I started this organization with my sister, and so her story is pretty similar. Very, very bright coming through high school, knew what she wanted to do, had a plan, but she wasn't aware of the different opportunities if you didn't have the resources necessarily to start off going to a four-year institution. And so that limited the track in which she would have went through. And so just us together, just kind of thinking about the limitations, limited information put on our lives, we wanted to stop that from happening in other people's lives as well.
That is a wonderful way to give back, in a sense, because you're so right. Young people nowadays with the social media, the way they compare themselves, the name brands that they want, not just in what they wear, but the name brands. When it comes to going to a university, they don't want the community college tagline. They want, university of whatever. So I'm glad to see that you were able to pull from your experience and to say, okay, you know what, we're going to make a difference. So what is the actual mission statement for SEC Pathway?
Yeah, so we want to help students to discover, create, plan, and pursue pathways to a brighter future.
Discover, create, plan, and pursue.
That's right. That's right.
Wonderful.
So that's our mission. That's our goal, and we want to kind of with students, but also with parents, helping parents to also help their child kind of make some of these decisions, because sometimes parents don't even know, and so they can have the same mindset that their child has about there only being one way. And when their child may not fit that one way, they may also feel that there isn't a lot of opportunity as well. And so for me, being a new parent, me and my husband, we want to teach our son that there's more than one pathway and you actually have a choice.
Yes, and you mentioned the one pathway. So is that the whole purpose, to kind of, again, expose them to different pathways?
That's right, that's right.
And you mentioned some of the pathways that you're focusing on. So can you tell us about that and how that relates to some of the programs and services that you offer?
Yeah, so we're not just college prep. We will help with that. We have programs to help with college, but we're also helping students look at trade schools. There's great employment that they might be interested in, and trade schools are a great option. Certification programs through organizations like Goodwill that are free to students that they may not know of. But what the student must have is their high school diploma.
Absolutely.
And so we really want to just really press finish, and then you'll have so many opportunities to choose from than if you were to stop at the finish line beforehand.
Absolutely, and that's another thing, the fact that there are those opportunities out there, but the high school diploma is a basic minimum, because in order to get to some of these trade schools or take certification programs, they may not ask for the requirement for a college degree, but they at least need to know that they could check that off.
That's right.
And so you mentioned about that one pathway. What do you think it is that is driving our society to share, get our young people and parents to think that the only way to success is to take the four-year college route?
I think that there is a glorification of college.
Wow.
That, I mean, I've gone to and finished programs at, I don't know, 5 universities. And
Wow.
so I know there's an image that college has, that once you reach there, you've reached the top, or you've reached the pinnacle of success. But I know that's really not true.
Absolutely.
Because you can graduate with that degree and you have nowhere to go afterwards. And so I think, like I had that idea going
Yes.
into college, a lot of people it's the way that even the universities sell their schools. You know,
Yes.
come here, you'll open up all opportunities to yourself.
Yes.
And it's kind of, they're promising more than they can really give.
You hit it right on the nose. You hit it right. And in many ways, they're trying to help, they're trying to get our young people to think that if they take this one path, they're going to automatically be guaranteed success. And as you and I know, well, actually, let me ask you, do you believe that the four-year college degree guarantees success?
No, I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. Again, going all the way into the PhD, it's you kind of get into a trajectory where, okay, now just your bachelor's, okay, now just your master's, and now your
Yes.
it doesn't, and it'll go on and on and on
Yes.
from there. And even with the PhD, I know people who do not have jobs coming right out
Yes.
of graduating with a PhD. And so, no, I don't think, I know that is not 100% true. And again, the idea of success, you realize that it's not truly what you thought it was. Once you get to the end of a degree or graduating college, you realize that it's definitely more than just what you thought.
And you're speaking so, right to my experience, and to the point where I actually suffered a depression after it was all over, because I did all this schooling right, after high school, and I was told you got to do this, and then when it was over, I'm like, I had that now what? Now what do I do experience. And so I'm just so happy to hear that there are other youth advocates, out there trying to help make a difference. And one difference in particular is the after graduation pathway plan that you have. Can you tell our audience about that?
Yes, and so our after graduation pathway plan is just to help the student write down, one, the different pathways they may want to consider.
Okay.
And so
That's
not
great.
only the different options, so that could be a college, could be a 2-year college, 4-year college, trade school certification program. We want them to write it out.
Okay.
What is the job that they want to go for, and which level of schooling or education is going to get them there, but also who can they contact right now?
Okay, so basically providing those resources.
That's right. That's right. So they can take it. So we're going to have it in like written form, but also digital form. So they
Okay.
can save it and come back to it, change it, modify it. But we want them to write down the program, the job they want, but also who can they contact now, and we'll have that information for them. A point person they can call on the phone and say, I have a question. What do you think about this?
So if a parent is watching and they're saying, you know what, my child needs this program, they need to be engaged, because they're having a hard time figuring it out. How do they, so they sign up for your program. What does the program actually look like in terms of, you mentioned writing it down. What else do you guys do to help them to get that clarity?
So we have what we call pathway advisors.
Okay.
And so pathway advisors,
That's
really
great.
where you can access us through over the internet,
Yes.
through email, through maybe sometimes phone call. You can give us a call, ask questions that you have. We do offer workshops, different
Okay,
workshops we'll be
good.
offering throughout the year. And so we're partnering with a program, basically a business in Miami, which has, it walks students who want to go to college, it walks them through the application process.
Oh, that's
And so
great.
this program can cost upwards to $600, $500. But for our students, we'll get them a discounted rate. I mean, sometimes we can get it for the student free. We can get the student for under $100.
Okay.
And so we have that for them.
That's a great
A
resource.
financial course that they can go through as well. well. And so we have the workshops, we have the pathway advisors that are basically accessible to contact with questions.
Yes.
We're basically working as a liaison with them in different organizations for internships, putting them in contact with different people. But they can reach us through our website at secpathway.org.
Okay.
And so again, those workshops, pathway advisors, and also we can give them low-cost resources that may be helpful to the student.
Absolutely. So can you tell us about any success stories with any young people who've been through their program?
And so we're a brand new organization.
Okay.
So we don't have any success stories just yet.
But they're coming
Oh,
because
they're
you
coming.
have the
That's
right,
right.
you
That's
have
right.
the right
That's right.
mission. Okay.
And so before my sisters and I started this organization, I actually did a little bit of this work before. So I would come back and go to Largo High School and speak with students and kind of come in the classroom and talk to them about my story and tell them about the many opportunities at Prince George's Community College. And so there actually have been some success stories of students who went through that same exact way that I did, through the Honors Academy and then on to even PhD programs as well, or on to other jobs from Prince George's Community College.
And I think that's amazing that because you graduated from Largo, I mean, you're able to connect with young people. If they see you coming and like, wow, you did this. So what is your message to students, when you go out and you do the public speaking?
Yeah, so it's just what you were saying, that there is not one pathway. And so my message is do not quit. Don't quit on yourself, because you want to keep all your opportunities and your options open so that, like I did, and I went the completely opposite way.
Yes.
You want to keep all your options open so at the end of the day you choose and no one tells you no. And so again, continue to press forward, look at all the options you have and make sure you're doing what you have to do to keep them open so you can make a choice at the end of the day that you choose and you don't feel was chosen for you.
Absolutely. And what would you say to parents, about, your program and how they can help how it can help their young child?
Yeah, so I would definitely say that our program can help their child. Again, if their child has a desire to be whatever they desire to be, our program can help their child continue on with hope that it is never too late to find that way. And so just the parents who a child may be discouraged by their academics or their finances, through our program, we want to give their child hope again that whatever they choose to do, we can help them, pretty much any and every student. There's something that we can help them with.
So what is your contact information, a website? You mentioned it earlier. Can you give that to us again?
That's right. So secpathway.org. That's our website. We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can follow us. You can send us a message. We'd love to get with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, that is our show for today. We again want to thank Miss Shannon Collins, for being here and talking about her wonderful program, SEC Pathways. We hope that you found the information that she shared with us useful and valuable. So tune in next week to hear from our special guests who are going to talk about passion and starting their own company. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to do what you love and love what you do. Bye for now.